Welcome, everybody, to the Round the Ring podcast. It is me at Interview Prince, and it is at Enigma Beth. Looks like she's wearing the Adam Page shirt today.
Joe, this shirt is gorgeous. The design is just so good.
It's a pretty sweet shirt. You know what else is this? We're both wearing sweet shirts today. I am also here to outwork everyone on this podcast, including my co-host, but probably not because she pays attention to the matches way more than I do. But we're here to review Dynamite. We are now on episode 9. We're almost into double digits. This is our last ever podcast in the single digits. I'm excited.
Especially with it being this show as well.
Yes, because this week has been great. We won't talk about that because we have podcasts for each of those episodes of Elevation, which is the Elevation Evaluation by Reyno, and the Dark Dive by Beth. So two amazing, well, what would you call them? Two amazing enhancement talent / sign talent shows that they do before the big show. Yeah.
Developmental is, I think, how I describe it. They're AEW's developmental shows. They're basically NXT for AEW.
Right. And the thing I like, last thing I'll say about this, the thing I like about those shows is that there's favorites that you have in other companies that you may not see every week. You just may not see them every week based on if they're being booked or if they're in matches or not. The thing with AEW is on one of these 3 shows, they're should see.
Going to be there.
Yeah, they're probably going to be. So if you have a favorite wrestler and he or she is not being used as much as you want, you still get to see them every single week. So we reviewed those shows, great shows that led right into a great show on Wednesday night. And started off the show hot. What was it called? Slam?
It was St. Patrick's Day Slam.
Slam. I was wrong. I think I called it Smash last week. Same thing. Smash, Slam. Hulk would say the same. So the first match of the night was a banger. We got Cody versus Penta, which we were all excited about last week. I know Beth loved it, and she's going to talk about it.
So this was thoroughly good. I have said a couple of times now, I do prefer Lucha Brothers as singles wrestlers as much as they are a great tag team. And Penta just kind of proved why, I think, because this match was phenomenal. He came out with Alex to start, and Alex doing the translating again, and it was brilliant. And he was wearing a St. Paddy's Day hat. It was so cool. Cody came out in the Green Nightmare Family shirt. And they just went hell for leather for about 15 minutes, kicked the absolute crap out of each other, and then Cody won with a roll-up on Penta. So with a fairly bitchy finish like that, I'm very much expecting this to lead into a nice little feud between Cody and Penta to lead up to Daddy Cody going on paternity leave.
Yeah, I bet
that think of anyone else that could put Cody out on injury for a couple of months. So yeah, I'm very much looking forward to this. The match was bloody brilliant.
Yeah, I bet that Penta says Penta would probably love this couple more matches with Cody, especially after losing by roll-up. It's funny that when Penta came out and they had the little picture-in-picture interview with is it Abraham?
It's Alex Abrahantes, I believe.
Yes, I keep messing up his name.
That's how you say his last name.
But I knew while he was while Penta was talking and he started smiling, I knew his first words were going to be, Penta says. So I like it. I like what they're doing.
Huge smile of satisfaction he has on his face while he's translating as well. Alex Abrahantes is going to be the next big heel manager in wrestling. Because him and Penta work so well together, and the translating he's done for Phoenix as well. He could easily manage both brothers as singles wrestlers and just be that smarmy translator manager that everyone loves to hate, and he would do it very well.
I don't think I prefer them either way. I don't prefer one or the other. I don't prefer them as a team or I prefer them as singles. I think they're both great, just like you, as singles. So I think that could be something that they could do. They could branch off like this. They can have their own individual feuds, but then they could also team together time to time. Please never officially break those guys up like it looked like they were going to do not too long ago. Just keep them like this.
I would absolutely die if they gave us a proper Penta Phoenix feud with the whole breaking the Lucha Brothers up and having that proper, deep, felt, heated feud. They've done it before over on AAA. I think it could be extremely fun. It would break people's hearts and give it 6 months and they'll be back together again. But at some point, I think we need a proper Phoenix Penta feud.
I don't know, because like I think you would have to give
matches are always when they're, it's like you look at any of their matches they've had against each other throughout the years, and they are the best matches they will ever put on.
Not debating that. I'm just saying you eventually someone has to win the feud, and I don't know if I want to have one of those guys lose the feud. I would want both of them to win. So, but anyway, it was a match that looks like it possibly is going to lead to more. So
I can't imagine any other reason why they'd finish it in a roll up.
Right, and if you saw the GIF going around with the Penta hat, the St. Patrick's Day hat, I hope people use that forever because it's a really good one.
Best St. Patrick's Day GIF ever.
Yep. After the match, we had a Young Bucks promo. Matt and Nick in the back.
Yeah, so they were backstage with Marvez doing interview on their upcoming title match against Phoenix and Pac. I'm incapable of talking today. I do apologize. And then Callis comes in and interrupts and goes, "You guys aren't the best tag team in the world, blah, 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 blah," and is doing what Callis does. They're like, but you stole our best friend away from us and you're just doing nasty things. And it was just the same as always with Callis. It was a good promo, but it's just kind of the same stuff with Callis over again. So
yeah, it is. But like I said, he's one of those guys where he can keep talking, just like a lot of people in AEW. It seems like he can just keep talking, and I actually enjoy it. I don't like him, so I mean, like that means he's doing a good job.
Yeah.
I think he's annoying, but I do think he does a great job. So the whole time he's talking to one of my favorites in the world, the Young Bucks, I was actually enjoying it because he did a good job.
He's very good at making us hate him, much like MJF.
Right. Yeah, he does. He does probably an even better job of making me hate him because I hate him. But anyway, yeah, I can't wait for that later. Yeah, we'll get to that later. But I can't wait for that match. It looks like it's shaping up to probably be in the next big show or the next special show. Yeah. Which it looks like they've been doing more often this year than last year. It seems like a once a month thing.
So, but, I mean, with the lack of being able to go to live shows and stuff at the moment, you know what? I'm all up for it. As long as they build up to the pay-per-views properly and we get a good pay-per-view run, I can deal with all the special shows they want to throw at me if they're of the quality that we got Wednesday night.
Yep. Beth, the next match, should I let you do all the talking? I wanted to talk about this first. I wanted this to be the first thing we talked about. It was Miss Jade Cargill versus Danny Jordan.
Right.
Okay, I think I got my answer there.
I will hold my hands up and say Jade's good. Jade, for 2 matches, Jade is really good. But I just don't care. I'm not feeling the hype around her at all. It's just, she's there and she's getting put over massively for what is a squash match of all of it 3 moves. It's, I could have done without this. It was good for what it was, but
there was some good Twitter pre-match buildup between those two, back and forth, and Danny Jordan was talking pretty tough towards Jade. That's what made this funny for me. It's like she's like, "I'm not afraid of you," and then she loses in like a minute. And then the next tweet, it was something like she didn't even remember what happened to her. So like it was good stuff, I thought. Beth has some shirts coming to her, I guess, in the mail, and I hope that one of them is Jade Cargill. That would be amazing. We'll find out what those are. But anyway, quick little match. So we don't really have to talk anymore about it. But I will say a mirror image of how Beth feels towards that segment is how I feel towards this one. Which one's that, Beth? She's happy.
It's totally not the Four Horsemen. We have had the name announcement for the new, not quite the Four Horsemen faction in AEW. It's Sean Spears, my favorite, one of my favorites. Reno loves him, don't you? Double S. We've got Double S in Sean Spears with FTR and MJF and Wardlow managed by Tully. At the beginning of the show, they turned up in their private jet and the suits and looked very, very flash. But yeah, so MJF pulls this fire fucking promo out of absolutely nowhere. And yeah, we now know that this new faction are called the Pinnacle, and they are the pinnacle of pro wrestling. And you look back at all the interviews they've done over the last 12 months or since FTR arrived, all the interviews on Unrestricted, all the little backstagey bits, they have been building this since the moment FTR arrived. It's like the Wardlow interview on Unrestricted, he names all of them and as people that he's been getting help off and being trained with, and MJF's helping him on the mic, and Tully's been giving him some great like insights and stuff, and FTR are just brilliant, and he's like, they're my pinnacle of pro wrestling, and they've been dropping hints for this for months. And it was amazing. I hate MJF. I hate the fact he's so good on the mic, but he does a very good job at making us hate him. And I love it.
Okay. So since Beth swallowed her pride and she said something good about Jade Cargill, I will swallow my pride here. FTR had nice suits. Okay. But they had really nice blue suits, matching-ish suits, as any good tag team does. They look like each other in the ring.
In various shades of blue, other than Spears.
It looked good. But I will say this. I actually enjoyed their shirt. A lot of people didn't like their shirt. I said it looked like a cheap beer logo, but that doesn't mean I disliked it. I actually like it. It just looks like a cheap beer logo on a shirt.
The Evian water mountain.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's true, I guess.
Yeah.
Cheap water or cheap beer, whatever you want to look at it. Coors Light, Keystone Light, just has the mountains in the back. So, I mean, it is what it is. I will just say this again. I'm not going to talk negative because I know that 95%, like I said last week, love these guys. And I get it. That most of the fans listening to this podcast that might tune in love that too. I will say this. I have been saying for months that, yes, I knew they were building to some type of faction going on with Tully and FTR and possibly a couple others to be the Four Horsemen. But when they came out last week, and everyone was saying four horsemen. I was the one saying, no, guys, there's 6 of them. And then every single person was like, that's because Wardlow's an enforcer. That's because so-and-so's a manager.
They've had 6 members of the Four Horsemen before, because it's not always been.
But I will just say that I was right, that I felt that, no, Wardlow wasn't going to be no enforcer. He was going to be treated like an equal with those guys. And he was announced like an equal with those guys. He wasn't like, here's FTR, here's the guy I won't name. And then there's this guy who's our enforcer. No, he was billed as one of the group and billed as an equal to the rest of them.
You can understand where people were coming from with the tweets, though, because it was gorilla, 4 horses, goat. So you can see where people were going with it, with the whole idea of having the enforcer and the manager as well as the 4 horsemen. But I like the idea of the Pinnacle. I'm very much looking forward to Blood and Guts, which is no doubt going to be in a circle versus Pinnacle now. Bearing in mind the Elite are no longer really a thing.
Are they doing that? Is that show announced?
Tony Khan has said repeatedly that Blood and Guts will still happen. They're just waiting for the right time because it needs to be one that people are going to be there for. So I can only imagine, because they're pulling the trigger on this 4 horsemen / Pinnacle stuff now, that they're planning on getting back to live shows by the end of the summer. So I think this build-up's probably going to be the build-up to Blood and Guts, probably at Full Gear. I'm thinking, if things go to plan.
I hope so. I would.
Stuff.
Yeah. Non-wrestling related, but it actually does pertain to wrestling because it affects crowd watching wrestling. I have been paying attention to the vaccine rollout here in the United States. I don't believe we're going to get much higher than 50% because it's just like half our country is going to want to get vaccinated, half of them won't. But I do believe that according to our current numbers, by the mid-May, at this current rate, by mid-May, 50% of our population will be vaccinated. So she said end of summer, getting back to live shows. That is very realistic. That is a very realistic time frame. And we could have big shows, maybe not every week like they were doing Dynamite every single week. but we can get back to maybe once a month shows in front of live crowds, because go ahead.
No, carry on.
Oh, I was just gonna say, because I am going to a live show next month, and then I hope to go to Double or Nothing in 2 months. So we will see. But yeah.
Yeah, so they've cancelled Rochester and another one this week, and they've postponed them till September.
Yep,
so,
and I don't.
Yeah, so it looks like they're planning on having like touring again by September.
Yeah, and call me an optimist. I don't believe that those will get postponed again. I believe, I'm going to knock on wood and hope that we do good as a country and as a world, and we get back to live shows soon.
And moving then on, AEW UK tour has to happen. And we can all go meet up and eat cheeky Nando's and watch AEW live. That's
sweet. Fun. I'll be there. What is that? Is that like a bar?
Nando's is a chicken place. It's a Portuguese chicken place, like nice. Chain restaurant. And I'm not quite sure why Nando's is cheeky, but when you go out for a Nando's, you go for a cheeky Nando's. I'm not sure why.
Well, there you have it. When live shows come back and they go back to the UK, I plan on someday visiting the UK, and I guess I will be stopping at Nando's. Moving on, again, a good segment. I'm not going to talk negatively about it when it's so popular. That'd be dumb of me. But I do recognize why they're so popular. And like I said, I like the name. I like the logo. Some people don't, but that's really not what it's about. It's not about the name. It's not about the logo. It's about the wrestlers. So I was very glad as a Wardlow fan to see him treated as an equal. Yeah. Moving on, speaking of being treated like equals, Bear Country was on main roster this week. I really like Bear Country. I didn't pull the trigger and buy a shirt, but I will. The next sale, I will buy a Bear Country shirt. They were teamed with also the very popular Jurassic Express, and they were going up against Private Party, Big Money Matt, and the team who just recently added the out of nowhere Butcher and Blade.
So if you cast your minds back to Revolution, it was actually Bear Country that kicked Luchasaurus out of the tag team battle royal. So tensions were running high at the beginning of this match. There were a couple of spots. Marco got hit by one of Bear Country. Someone got spun around by Bear Country who accidentally kicked Jungle Boy in the head, which completely staggered him. There were a couple of pushes and shoves between like Luchasaurus and the Bear Country guys. So tensions were running a bit high. I'm glad they've been given this spot on Dynamite because they are absolutely fantastic and everyone loves them. But I don't like the fact that it was at the expense of Jurassic Express. Because Big Money Matt did get the pin at the end of it, and Jurassic Express are my babies, and I don't like people screwing with them. And as much as I love Bear Country, they kind of screwed it over for them. So, but it was a very enjoyable, bloody good match to watch. Lots of storytelling.
Yeah, those are nice. I like those. New Japan does that very well. They have every night. They have 4-on-4s or 3-on-3s and 5-on-5s, and there's always a lot of storytelling because they usually have a big match between tag team competitors the next night or later in the tournament. They do a very good job with that, so it's great to see that concept taken from my favorite company to my favorite U.S. company, AEW. It's an awesome thing to watch. It's not just throwing together multi-man matches like other places might do. It's always good, like I said, to see more. Sometimes more is better. Those matches can be fun. Like she said, Big Money Matt, he's rich for a reason. It's not because he's taking L's. It's because he's getting victories. So he did get the win. Sorry, Beth. After the match, we had everybody's favorite new tag team. When are they coming out with the shirt? That's all I want to know. Mox and Kingston.
So I didn't realize this. Mox and Kingston have obviously known each other for like 20 odd years at this point. But this is the first time in history they have ever tagged together.
Wow.
And for me, it seems like such an obvious pairing for those two to tag together, because as much as like there's the size difference, they do have very similar styles in just beating the crap out of each other. But yeah, I'd seen Mox in tag action as kind of my happy place. So I was very happy to see this, even if they did get their absolute arse handed to them.
I love that
Mox also won with a roll up, which is kind of nice.
Oh, were you talking about the match with Good Brothers?
Yeah, so we'll do the promo and the match. I'm getting ahead of myself because this is all just brilliant. But so there was a promo beforehand, which basically those Mox and Kingston going, yeah, we're gonna kick your butt because you guys are kind of shit, and we are Mox and Kingston, and we're badass, and we're broken, and we're battered, and we're bruised, and we're burnt, but we don't care. We're still gonna kick your ass. Yeah, and it was great. And then Christian came out.
Yep. Mr. Christian, as you guys can see, I was probably one of his biggest fans, probably because, I have been following him since like 1999, 98. So when he debuted, I have been following him since then, and we got to hear him talk. And that is one of his greatest attributes, and people don't realize that who never saw him in his early days. When he was with Edge and Christian as a tag team, he talked just as much as Edge did, and just as good as Edge did in that team. He is a Hall of Fame talent. I'm glad to have him here. I'm glad to have his shirt. I got 4 shirts in the mail yesterday, all AEW talents. This was the first one I wanted to wear on the podcast. And I actually took a special trip to the laundromat last night when I got it in the mail just to be able to wear it tonight, because I always wash my T-shirts first. So just for that, I was very happy to see him talk. We finally got to hear him talk. And like he said, he's got some proving to do. He's not going to come out there and just expect a title match right away. He's going to get some wins first. So
he's going to work his way up the rankings and then kick Kenny's ass and win the title off him, I'm hoping.
Yeah, I hope so. And I hope I'm wins the first match. That's all I want to know. I'm so excited to have him here. I just want to know when his first match is and see how he looks, ring gear, everything, how he looks in the ring, all that good stuff. So
yeah, so for me, Christian was definitely like 2006 to 2008 TNA Christian.
Yeah.
Which wasn't terrible.
No, a lot of people love that.
He was the heart of TNA at the time. But it's kind of, for me, it's those couple of years were Christian for me, because I was too young to see the Edge and Christian stuff and his recent WWE, or more recent WWE stuff.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. So, I'm very much looking forward to this. And I forgot how bloody good he was on the mic. Mm-hmm.
Very good. Been doing it for 20 some years. You're gonna be a little better than most. So That's all we'll say about that. We're very excited to where that's gonna go. I just can't wait. He's like I said last week. If I had to pick my favorite wrestler in AEW, it's him. Just like that. He passed Kenny, who's been my favorite for so many years. Just like that, Christian passed Kenny. But moving on.
And
like she said,
we had
we had the match that she already told us who won the match, but how did the match go?
So the match was 90% of it was Kingston getting the absolute shit kicked out of him after Good Brothers jumped them before the bell rang. Mox was out of it for the vast majority of it on the outside, managed to get up on the ring. Kingston did eventually get the hot tag. Mox kind of ran wild and surprise paradigm shift into a roll-up.
Yep. So if you're a little surprised because you don't watch Impact, you notice that the Goon Brothers did not have their tag team straps. That is because they lost them on Saturday, which made me very happy. And New Japan actually holds the Impact straps now. So it's going to be a while, because they said on Impact this week, Finjuice, the team that won it from them, said that they're taking them to Japan and they'll be back in a month. So they'll be back at the April 24th Impact pay-per-view, where Kenny will also be in. So we're going to see Good Brothers. If we see them on the show in the next month or so, they're not going to have their belts. They lost them.
And then there was all the post-match shenanigans.
We had
Kenny swagging his way out to God knows what he was singing in his head.
Wham. He was listening to Wake Me Up Before You Go.
See, I was thinking watching it that they're going to Rickroll us and we're just going to get Rick Astley going, never going to give you up.
Yeah, could have been that. You never know. What Kenny likes so many genres. He is a man of the people. But anyway, he came out. What happened?
They come out beat down on Kenny and Mox. Kingston and Mox. Too many Ks.
Yes.
And then Good Brothers do the chair over Kingston's ankle, try to break his ankle. Kingston rolls out of the ring and continued beat down on Mox. And then the Young Bucks run out and go, guys, what the hell are you doing? This has gone way too fast. Stop being assholes, blah, 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 blah. This went on for possibly a little bit too long. And then Kenny holds his hand up for Too Sweet, and the Good Brothers hold his hands up for Too Sweet. And the Bucks just kind of look at them with hands on their hips and eyebrows raised, and are just like, nope. And they walk out the ring, and then Kenny tries to stop them, and they go, Too Sweet, and nope, Too Sweet. And I'm just like, super kick party on Callus's face, please. But no, the Young Bucks did then walk off. The Good Brothers and Kingston clear, and it's just Eddie screaming, "Get me in the ring with Mox," and Doc Gallows Sampson going, "There's no way in hell we can get you in the ring right now." And that's kind of how the segment finished. It was a really, really, really bloody good segment.
Right. Yeah, and unfortunately, I was telling her I had a call, so I missed that. But I did get to see it. I just had no audio. So I mean, I saw that they kept trying to get the Too Sweet. It just didn't happen. So that did. I was actually on my phone call, and I was doing this to myself. I was like, yes, like don't do it, Bucks.
Yeah.
So I did.
I even tweeted, I'm like, don't do it, Bucks. And then they didn't, and I was so proud of them. So maybe the Bucks aren't turning heel. I don't think the Bucks really know what's going on at the moment. They're just trying to deal with whatever the hell they've got going on. So it's going to be interesting to see where it all goes, whether the Bucks will end up siding with Kenny in the end, or whether they'll kind of form a new mini elite faction to try and kick his ass with Christian, maybe. Yeah. Or Hangman. There's always that option there as well. There's so many ways this could go.
Yeah, I feel like there's been a couple times where they have looked kind of heelish, especially when they were going up against Adam Page and Kenny Omega early last year, before this world was upside down.
Yes.
But so we've seen it a little bit here and there. But like, for the love of God, I'm like, you cannot. Come on, don't turn the Bucks.
It's too early for a heel turn for the Bucks.
Come on.
I think the audience will very much know when the audience is ready for a Bucks heel turn.
Right, and they'll need that. They'll need that audience first. They'll need them in the stands first before we know.
So it's going to be interesting to see it all play out, though. And then after that, we got. I'm actually kind of enjoying it now. The Sting thing. Sting and Darby came out, and Darby cut a really cool promo. We've got an open challenge for Dark Order. All of Dark Order eventually is what I think they're just going to run through Dark Order as an open challenge, which would be really cool.
Yeah. I was thinking that too. That's almost guaranteed.
So yeah, Darby's bought the open challenge back, and it's aimed at Dark Order for now, but he wants to be a fighting champion because since November, he has only actually defended the title 3 times, and he's a bit pissed about it.
Yeah, good promos. He said it's a joke. So he's ready to change that.
He is aware that we all want to see him kick butt, and he wants it too. So yeah, it's going to be a good run for the next couple of months of the TNT title for Darby, hopefully. But Darby just about got to the end of his nice little promo as Lance comes out with Jake going, Darby, sorry to interrupt you, but we're taking time off Sting, not TV time from Sting, not you. You just happen to be here. We got all the Lance stuff. And then Team Taz came out, and do you want to explain the Team Taz stuff?
Sure. Well, I will say from a perspective of someone like me who hasn't seen the fighting that they've had going on in Dark, I guess there has been some stuff going on in Dark, and there's been some dissension in the ranks. So we saw on the show that for a lot of us was the first time we've actually seen it on air. So I didn't think it was that serious until this week when we saw it on Dynamite.
Yes. So Dark, there have been a few moments especially between Ricky and Cage, where Ricky's tagged himself in to try and kind of help, and it's not gone right, or has gone right, and Cage hasn't noticed, and there has been some tension building up. But but then obviously Dynamite happened, and Cage turned around and told Sting that he is a legend, and that Starks was wrong, and that with or without the bat, you were a legend, Sting, and I respect you. And then the rest of Team Taz were like, what the hell are you doing? And arguing ensued as they walked off.
Yeah. I hope they don't argue and split up and all that, because it will be probably at some point, if they do that, it'll be Cage versus one of my favorites, Ricky Starks. And Ricky Starks, no doubt, is going to lose that match, and I don't want to see Ricky Starks lose. So I hope that doesn't happen. I know Cage is very good. He's probably main event material. He is main event material, not maybe. But yeah, that's what's going on there. They've had some tension build up on the shows Tuesday nights on Dark. That's the first time that any of us just watched Dynamite before this week. I watch Elevation, but anyone that just watches Dynamite, it's the first time we've seen that on air. So that's what's going on there, but we'll see how that progresses.
And
moving
then we
on.
had Phoenix and Hannah Helico, which I thoroughly enjoyed. Bouncy, 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 and more bouncy, I think is how this match can be described.
Yeah, very good. Of course, Ray Phoenix is always bouncy, but we don't get to see Angelico much, and he was actually one of the strongly billed wrestlers that we got signed when the company first started. So Angelico and Jack Evans have been here since the beginning. They were actually at Double or Nothing, had a match at Double or Nothing. So I mean, they've been with us from the start. We just haven't seen them very often, but they are very, very good, especially Angelico. So it was nice to see him in the match for a change.
It was nice Dynamite to see a more technical side of Phoenix as well, rather than just your normal bouncy Phoenix stuff. As much as there was much of the bouncy, Angelico is a technician, and he did manage to drag that out of Phoenix, and it was a bloody good match. And I guess this was the official main event of the night, bearing in mind main event was an unsanctioned match. So this was the legal main event of the night.
Yep, if you look at it that way, yes.
So, and I mean, a normal Dynamite, I would have been quite happy to see Phoenix and Angelico as main event, because it would have been a bloody good main event.
Mm-hmm. So, Phoenix won that, I'm assuming.
Yeah,
I missed the finish. Yep, Phoenix won that. No surprise there. He's on fire this year. He's in fuego. But yeah, good match there, and hopefully we see more of Angelico. But again, there's so many guys we want to see more of. So many gals we want to see more of. That's why at least watch one of the shows now that they have on Mondays and Tuesdays. At least watch one of them so you can see more of the people you like. Speaking of people that we all like, Britt Baker and everybody's favorite Thunder Rosa. I don't even know where to start. So I hope Beth does, because I don't even know how many more adjectives I can say in 1 week to describe this match.
Just honestly, just go fucking watch it. Because no matter what we say, we're not going to be able to do it justice at all.
Mm-hmm.
You have to watch this match. Meltzer has just given this match, I think the results came about an hour before we started recording, has just given this a 4.75 out of 5 stars. And he himself has put this as one of, if not the best women's wrestling match he has ever seen. In the history of wrestling, or professional wrestling, was I think how he put it. It was phenomenal.
It was. And I know a lot of people out there may not like violent matches at all. Like any match with blood, some people just don't like it at all. But for those of us who don't mind it, I don't like death matches, but this didn't feel like a death match. No, there wasn't glass.
It was a grudge match.
Yeah, it was a grudge match. There was tables. There was tacks. Nothing I haven't seen before in the 20 years I've been watching, and especially in WWE, they've done a lot of matches with tacks and tables and chairs and all that. Again, I just want to say this: how many good matches? One, everybody knows how amazing Thunder Rosa is. Nobody doubts that at all. But there are still Britt Baker people out there that just don't want to give her any credit. How many good matches does she have to be in, Beth, for Beth to say that she's a great wrestler? Or she can put on great matches?
No, Britt is good. I will give Britt most improved, because she has improved. Despite injury and stuff, she has gone from like here to up here. When she first turned up, I really didn't get it. And until Wednesday night, I still didn't get it, but I can't help but look at her now and just see the dentist from Little Shop of Horrors, because I made the mistake of watching Little Shop of Horrors last week, and now it's all I can see. But no, I think I get it. I'm not her biggest fan, but I do get it now. She is good, and she's enjoyable to watch in the ring. But this match was just bloody wow.
Yeah, and that's my question. So for people that don't like her, and it's okay because we all like different people. Reyno darn sure dislikes a lot of popular people. But for those that don't like her, is it more her wrestling ability, or your opinion of her wrestling ability, or is it her character? Is it who she is?
It's her wrestling style isn't one I particularly enjoy. I can appreciate that it's good. She is very good at what she does. It's just not a style of wrestling that I would choose to watch.
Got it. Okay, doke. But yeah, we can go all day. We won't bore you to death with how amazing this match was. Just go watch it. 4 words. Beth, put those words into your heads. Go watch it because
just go watch it.
Yeah. One of the best women's white matches of all time for even someone. I know it's one guy's opinion, but that just shows how highly regarded it is with all of us.
And I have seen nothing but positivity on it. I mean, Mick Foley has tweeted it out as one of the best lights out unsanctioned matches that he's seen. It was very 2000 Mick Foley and whoever it was. Very that kind of vibe to it, and it was just
If Brittany,
was it with Austin?
I'm not sure.
Was it Steve Austin versus Mick Foley 2000? I think it was SummerSlam, wasn't it?
It's been a long time, Beth.
So one of the big Mick Foley grudge matches, but it is definitely up there with, if not one of the best female wrestling matches, but one of the best professional wrestling matches I can remember seeing. Over
and if anybody
dropping in and out of watching wrestling for the last 15, 20 years.
And if anybody knows about going through tables and tacks, it's Mick Foley. So
he called Reba out on it. They've had Bully Ray has also tweeted out about it and gave Reba a Twitter high five for taking a cool table bump.
Yeah, she took a bump.
It's just been really nice seeing people be nice about the AEW women's division. And it has definitely just put itself on the map. And I said this last week, but AEW have built themselves a fucking solid women's division, and no one can take that away from them now.
It's absolutely solid. It is like I said, for a year, people wanted more. People wanted more. They weren't really bashing it because they loved the company, but they wanted more. They wanted more out of these women. They wanted to see what they had. They wanted them in longer matches. They wanted them on Dynamite. We've been getting that slowly, and now we get a build to something like this that's been building for months with Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa. We got exactly what we want from a build like that. We want a payoff. We got the payoff. Yeah, so as good as you can possibly get it.
The one thing people need to remember is, as from what I can remember, Tony Khan has said generally TNT will only allow one women match per show. Obviously, we did get 2 this week for it was a special occasion, special show. But from what I understand, generally, we're only allowed 1 women's match per TNT show, which explains a lot of it. And we do get to see a heck of a lot more of the women on Dark, and I'm assuming Elevation as well as we go forward with that. So
we got 2 this week. We had Jade Cargill.
Yeah,
as well.
We did have 2 this week. 2. But generally, as far as I think it was about a month ago, Tony Khan said on one of the interviews he did. But yeah, so generally we just get the 1 because that's all TNT will allow. So I'm hoping that this might open TNT's mind a little bit. Now they've seen how well the show did ratings wise, how well the match did in the demographics. It might open their mind to maybe letting them have a little bit more airtime for the women.
Yeah. And speaking of the women's division, there's still someone coming back very soon. It is the alien herself. Oh crap, I forgot I had my Band-Aid. Reyno got COVID vaccine, and that Band-Aid has not come off through 4 showers. Amazing. I've been afraid to look at it.
You realize you're only meant to leave them on for 2 hours, right?
I don't want infection. Chill. Anyway, the alien herself, Chris Stat, is coming back.
She will be back eventually, and she's possibly one of my favorite in the AEW Women's Division. I absolutely love her. Yeah, and Layla Hirsch has been signed.
Yeah. So now Beth has about 5 favorites now, 10 favorites. But I'm just as excited as her. The women's division is no joke now. And like she said in her dark review, which I actually listened to my co-host shows, she actually talked about Penelope Ford a little bit. So that's another one. She did really good in her limited exposure on Dynamite. They have a good division. Stop saying that they need to sign more people. With the Layla Hirsch signing, I think they're set. They have a good roster. So
they just need to get AJ Mendez on the roster now, and that will be the best women's division in wrestling, I would hazard.
They got some tough
Other
competition.
Than possibly Impact
and NXT have some very good women's division as well. So show grades. I mean, hey, since we can't judge the main event, since it was lights out. No, I'm kidding. It's part of the show. Yeah, I'm judging that, and it's a 10. Screw it. It's a 10.
Yeah, just 10 out of 10 show. No, it was a 15 out of 10 show.
It just put, like you said, put the women's division on the map. That episode alone put the women's division on the map. Says, hey, we got women that can go. And yes, we know Thunder Rosa is signed to NWA. Everybody knows that, but I still believe. Yes, exactly. That's the 2 words that I would say as well. For now, I do believe she is going to be coming to AEW when that runs out. No doubt about it. Look at all the wins she's piled up at that company. So yeah, that's my show grade. And you said it 15 out of 10?
15 out of 10.
All right. Can't beat 15 out of 10 unless it was 16. All right. Wrestler of the week. Beth, I'm letting you go first. I don't even remember anymore, but I'll let you go first. Wrestler of the week.
Thunder Rosa, because I'm assuming you're going to choose Britt. So
I knew it was going to be Thunder. I knew it was going to be Thunder Rosa. I just knew you were going to pick Thunder Rosa. But go ahead. Tell us why. Well, you've already kind of told us why.
Because she's not Britt. And because I can't bring myself to choose Britt as wrestler of the night. No, it could have been either of them. But my God, those girls absolutely tore it up. And Thunder Rosa got the win.
Right. So, okay. Well, as Reyno always does, he leaves hints throughout the show. And this person outworked everyone. And they weren't even a winner of a match this week. But as you see behind me, like I always say, it's cake wars going on. And when you know, everyone knows what you got to do with the cake. You got to bake it. Just like Britt Baker. You were right. It is Britt Baker.
Cake Wars is such a good show.
I can't say anything else about her that we haven't already said. I will just say that when she wears her, I mean, football is big here in America. American football is. When she wears her Pittsburgh Steelers stuff, which I hate that team, she's the only person in the world that can wear Pittsburgh Steelers stuff and make me forget how much I hate the Steelers. I'm a fan of her. I would have a shirt of hers already if she didn't have all that stupid Pittsburgh style shirts. But I'm a big fan.
What you need to do is get the shirt where she broke her nose.
That's the best one they have right now.
And then you get the shirt that they've just released from after the match with Thunder Rosa, and you just get a collection of Bloody Brit t-shirts.
Bloody Brit shirts. There you go. To be fair, I did look at shirts during the match. I was like, okay. I'm tired of not having a Britt Baker shirt. So I did look, and the 2 with the blood on them were the 2 nicest ones that she has to me.
The new one came out within like 2 minutes of that match ending. They had that up on PWTs. So,
So pretty soon, Reyno will own a Britt Baker shirt. But that's it. That's it for our Dynamite review. Like I said, another great show. Trust me, we don't think every show is a 10 out of 10. We like Beth said this week, we do criticize AEW. There's a lot of things that we don't like, but we just try to be Jade, Pinnacle. We just try to be positive on this show, and I hope you guys enjoy it. And we're going to keep doing that. Our goal is not to be a negative podcast, so hope you guys love it. But that's all I got.
I can't think of anything else to add. You need to show Jericho. Go face Jericho.
He's laying down right now. Chill out. Okay, guys. Well, everybody, have a good afternoon or night whenever you watch this. And that's all we got.
Bye.
Bye.